A Fox News alert now on the hunt for potential suicide bombers ahead of the Winter Olympics, which start on February the 7th. U.S. counterterrorism officials working with Russian security agents. They are searching for now, we're being told, 4 specific female terrorists, including the so-called Black Widow, who you see pictured here in the pink headscarf. She is the wife of a 22-year-old jihadist who was taken out by security forces in Russia, and she is said to be on a vendetta as a result of that. Lawmakers warning that these suspects may already be on the ground in Sochi.
We've known that the Olympics are going to be there for years, and so if you were a terrorist and you wanted to plan this attack, you can embed yourself into that area in a very, long time ago, years ago, inside what they call the Ring of Steel, to try to penetrate and integrate themselves, and it's a very dangerous venue and a high-profile event.
Yeah, this is getting more attention by the minute, how dangerous this may be. Jonathan Gilliam's a former Navy SEAL and a former Federal Air Marshal, and he joins me now. You're very concerned about this.
Very concerned. I mean, this is, I think, as real as it gets when it comes to a terrorist threat. Already, in the past month, they've killed 34 people, and these are the same people wanting to use the same tactics, except they're going into
the bus bombings that we saw in Volgograd.
Right, and just like the bus bombings or the train station attacks, they're looking at places that they know people are going to be. That's the hard part about a special event, is you know that there's going to be large groups of people there.
What do we know about these Black Widows? And, obviously they're going to be searching for them, but they could be, you've got people from all over the world coming into this area, right. So it would be pretty easy, it would appear, to blend in. We
look at this so-called Ring of Steel. We have a Ring of Steel in New York, down by the Wall Street area, where it's a small area. We're talking 2 square miles. In Russia, they're talking 1,500 miles. There's no way that, from a tactical perspective, you can actually secure 1,500 miles. And these people, over 20 years, have proven that when they say they're going to attack something, they're going to attack it. And they attack with ruthless, careless tactics. So I think if we look at this, let's look at 9/11, for instance. If we had a 3-week warning that 9/11 was going to happen, that there were specifically going to be plane attacks into a building, how would our administrative personnel reacted? How would Mayor Giuliani react? How would the American people prepare themselves? And I think it's time now. We could talk about Black Widows, we could talk about separatists. I think now we've gone past that point because people have tickets, they're going to go. I think now we need to start looking at how do you proactively look and prepare yourself.
That's a great point. How do you do that?
Well, you look at places that, for instance, bottlenecks. Let's look at the 2 attacks that just happened last month. A bus and a train station. Those are bottlenecks where people are going to be, similar to LAX, for instance, similar to the Boston bombing, all these different attacks we've had here. These are areas. And
they were from Dagestan, which is not far from this area.
Exactly.
Which point out.
And these are large groups where large groups of people congregate. So we really need to start, as a population, we need to start looking at things from an awareness point of view and not be so lackadaisical when it comes to awareness.
What should they do? I mean, should they try to travel at the off times? Should they? How do you? Right. What practical advice do you have for people who might be going there or people who are going to be working there?
Right. So let's think proactively for a second and stop looking at it reactively. Katrina was that's a good example of this for the average civilian. Katrina and New Orleans was a city that was in the line of a hurricane. They know that hurricanes happen there and they're below sea level. There should be proactive training for cities like that, for people and first responders, on how to prepare and get out of there.
So what should they do?
In this circumstance, people should be looking at if they're going to go to an event, show up late, leave early, or leave later, sit in the seats for a while. Just avoid large crowds. And it is always surprising to me. I'm writing a book right now about awareness, and I've had publishers actually tell me that it's not relevant. How is that not relevant? It should be one of the most relevant things that we have in this country right now.
I mean, you think about, in the Middle East, how aware people have come, how it's changed the way that they live and the way that they move around, and that may be a lesson for folks heading to this area as well.
I think Israel is a great example that you bring that up. They live free, but they're aware.
Yeah. Jonathan, thank you very much. We hope everybody's safe over there.
Yes.
But some good advice. Good to have you here.